Today we're gonna make brown butter cardamom snickerdoodles. It has all of the chew that you want in a snickerdoodle with a little bit of crunch, the sugar on the outside and the crunch on the bottom. But there's browned butter for a little nuttiness, and then the warmth from the cardamom all comes together for this like beautiful, warming, it's like a hug, a cookie hug. It is the perfect addition to a holiday tray or just any sort of winter festive gathering. I mean, bring in the festivity with these for sure. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button below and click the bell icon to be notified every time I post a new and delicious recipe. Let's get into it. So the first step in our brown butter snickerdoodles is browning our butter. So in my pot, I've got my butter, and we're gonna pop this on the burner and we're gonna melt it. All right, so you can see that the butter has melted, it is bubbling, and nothing really is, browning yet. There's a little bit that is brown on the side, so you don't want to be, fooled by that smell, because it has not started browning in the bottom yet. So this is obviously too soon. So we just keep going. Giving it a stir every now and again will help kind of evenly brown, otherwise you kind of get parts that get too brown before everything else has had a chance to get nice and roasty, toasty, nutty. So you want to kind of give it a stir every now and again. You don't want to just leave it to its own. You can, of course, and it's going to be fine. The foam can make it kind of difficult to tell what's happening underneath, but obviously you can see the color changing of the foam. You can see that it is like a nice darker brown, and then when I stir, you can see what's happening underneath, and you can see that that's a nice, beautiful, nutty, roasty situation that's occurring down there. We can obviously smell the nuttiness. It smells like hazelnuts, or which is why in French it's called beurre noisette, hazelnut butter in a sense. And we've got a nice amount of brown bits in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and just pour it out into my bowl, and then you can see a little bit better what I'm talking about. You wanna make sure you get all of those good bits. Don't leave them in the pan. They're not gonna do any flavoring of your cookie in there. Oh my goodness, this is some great brown butter, guys. Oof, wow. Yes. So you can see it is a nice, even just the butter itself is a nice, beautiful kind of like golden tint. And then there's obviously the darker bits underneath, and that is what you want. So that's, we pat ourselves on the back for that. Oh my gosh, it smells phenomenal. Okay, so enough chit chat about brown butter. We did it, done, phenom. So we are not just gonna put hot butter into our cookies. We want nice, chewy, tall, proud cookies. And the only way to get that is for us to chill our butter. So go ahead, pop this in your fridge, and let this just kind of chill for at least 30 minutes. You want it to re-solidify. You don't want it to be like hard. You can, of course, make this ahead of time, but if you do that, you will want to kind of soften your butter, almost like you would just regular butter if you were making a cookie. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this in our fridge. Wow, she's hot. We're back. So without further ado, let's get a mix in. So we've got, first we're gonna put our brown butter, which you can see has cooled. It's kind of set. I did stir it once. But it is still soft. Do you see that? How I'm able to kind of scrape it up. It's not completely set. So that is wonderful. That's exactly where you want it. So you don't have to kind of pre-mix it or, temper it, if you will, in your mixer. So we're gonna take this butter and we're gonna put it in the bowl of our stand mixer. Oh my goodness, look at all that browned phenomenalness. We're gonna pop this in the bowl of our stand mixer here, fit her with paddle, and then we're gonna go ahead and add our sugar. This is just granulated sugar. Okay. We'll mix that in just a second. First, I'd like to just whisk together our dry ingredients really fast. So in this bowl, I've got AP flour, I have baking soda. This is cream of tartar because it is a snickerdoodle and this is not optional. We have kosher salt. And then this is cardamom. So I grind my cardamom fresh. So I buy the seeds and then I grind it. It has just a much more exquisite flavor. And I find that extra process to be a little bit worth it. You could also use my pumpkin pie spice, even apple spice. You could also, oh my gosh, guys, you could use my speculoos spice mix, which is up there, and really blow your mind. If cardamom, like straight cardamom, is not your thing, it's cool. We can still be friends. We're not best friends though. Just kidding. All right, so go ahead and we're gonna beat this together. Oh, is there anything better than brown butter? Oh, I just don't know. It makes everything so tasty. Go ahead and scrape it down. Now, a brown butter that has been re-solidified does not behave like regular butter because it is not, okay? We've, evaporated some of the liquids. We have burned some of the solids, so it is not the same thing as regular butter, so do not expect it to behave that way. We're just gonna beat this really well. It's gonna look like sand. So you can kind of see it's coming together in there. There's kind of like sheets that are forming and then kind of falling off. Which is basically where the point where we'd be like, oh, you look like a beautiful creamed butter. So we're gonna add our egg. Oh, it smells so nutty and fabulous in there. Cannot. So turn it on low, per usual, and just go ahead and, slowly add your dries. You also don't want to wait too long. You don't want to develop too much gluten, so you just want to kind of, as you see it start to mostly disappear or be mostly worked in, add a little bit more. Go ahead and just give it a little scrape. I've got some flour that has decided to stop on the top, which is not where it's supposed to be. Y'all. She done. Wasn't that easy? And she looks phenomenal. Like, phenomenal. Oh my goodness, the specks in there, some of them are cardamom, some of them are brown butter, and it's like, so excited. Now, you can bake these right now, but it is better to chill them. So we are going to scoop them and chill them. And then you're going to get the best kind of fluffiest, chubbiest cookie that's just chewy and just trust it. Let's get ourselves a piece of parchment. That's you, sir. Let's see, how big do we want them? We're going to be reasonable today, I think. 1 inch scoop. All right, go ahead and just start a scooping. Probably gonna have to divide these onto 2 trays to bake them, so don't really stress about where you put them on there. We're not, trying to, this is not their final home. I was gonna add these to the other ones, but now I think I'm just gonna eat them with these. Baker's bonus. Gosh, that's good. Okay, just give them a little roll, because obviously that's not gonna make a very pretty cookie, yeah. No one's gonna care because they taste phenomenal. So, but we care. You know me. I can't help myself. He's excited. Now, we're gonna cover these up. We're gonna chill them because they're gonna spread if we bake them like this. One, the butter has been previously melted, so it's not quite as sturdy, if you will, as regular butter, or butter that hasn't been melted or especially browned. It's also really warm in here, so they're just gonna, and we want them to be nice and tall and proud. So, plastic, fridge, like 20 minutes. Like, doesn't have to be serious. All right, it's been about 30 minutes. I've preheated my oven to 325 convection or 350 regs, and we're ready to bake our doodles. So, I've got, in this bowl, I've got granulated sugar and then a bit of cardamom. And I'm gonna mix those together with my favorite tool. a baby whisk. Now, you could, of course, use less cardamom. You could use pumpkin pie spice. You could use apple pie spice. You could use, oh my gosh, any of the spice mixes, or just cinnamon, whatever you want, that's what you should use. So we're just gonna take these guys and we are going to roll them in our sugar, and we're gonna get a bigger bowl so we can do more than one at a time, because who's got time for this? Go ahead, pop them in there, 3 at a time, give them a good swirl. Okay, and then we'll place them about 2 inches apart. They had a nice chill, so they really shouldn't spread too much, but you want to give them the space that they need. Okay, great. All right, let's go ahead and get these in our oven. Right, our doodles are out, and they baked 9 minutes. They puffed, they cracked on top, and then as they cool, they kind of settled a bit into the traditional snickerdoodle shape, if you will. And so they're still a little warm, so we're gonna let them cool completely. These have been cooling about 5 minutes, so we're gonna let them kind of cool completely. And we're back. It is time to try. I am so excited. I mean, whew, I am ready to dig in. Right. Yum. Party in my mouth. Yes, it is. There's that hint of cardamom both on the outside but on the inside, which really isn't overpowering at all. It just gives it a really beautiful flavor. And then there's that light nuttiness from the brown butter, which also is not overpowering. Everything just kind of comes together into this really warm and inviting and beautiful cookie. It's before lunch, but she good. Check.